Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel.
Hi guys. Alright, so it's time for another Lori Vallow update. I could have updated a lot of like little small videos with little stuff, but I don't want to do that. I just kind of want to wait until I have a good amount of stuff, and then I want to not just report it but analyze it. First thing I want to talk about is the fact that the jail admitted to illegally recording, albeit accidentally, Lori's conversations with her attorney, which is a violation of the attorney-client privilege. Due to the coronavirus, the conditions at the jail have changed. This includes the way that inmates get to meet with their lawyers. Deputy Isaac Payne, a spokesperson for the jail, did not explain how it happened, just that it was under investigation. The only thing that Deputy Isaac Payne said was that the recorded conversation took place in a Madison County jail visitation room in which Lori Vallow and Means were separated by a telephone line and a glass barrier. And the prosecutors had to admit to it in a filing that they made. So I hope nothing more comes of it, but I doubt it. I'm pretty sure Lori's attorney is going to be using this as leverage in some way, shape, or form during trial. The next hearing that she has is April 17. This is regarding her fourth request for bail reduction. Anytime something happens, the lawyer's like, let's go reduce bail. It's still sitting at 1 million. So when he asked for the reduction of bail again, the prosecution decided to play a little game with him. They said, you know what? We will consider reducing the bail if Lori produces the children or gives us a good enough reason as to why she can't produce the children. And of course, she has not done anything to produce the children or give us a good reason as to why she can't. Another interesting thing that happened is Chad is finally under investigation. I think they were waiting for Tammy and her autopsy because they exhumed Tammy's body. Tammy is Chad's wife who mysteriously died in her sleep. They may have found something regarding Tammy. The next update, which honestly explains a lot, the Fremont County prosecuting attorney, her name is Marsha Murdoch. She is basically pleading with the Attorney General for the second time after asking other prosecutors for help to please help take over the case because they do not have the experience or the resources to deal with this case that keeps getting crazier and crazier, and there's more people involved, and you've got to do more toxicology tests, more autopsies, you have to exhume the bodies, you need to get warrants for all this stuff, you need to have manpower to actually do all this investigating. It's expensive. This is a small town of Rexburg. They're not used to this crazy situation. I'll include the letters. Now, I don't know if the prosecution leaked the letter to put pressure on the Attorney General to take the case, because the Attorney General did respond. The Attorney General, Colleen Zahn, responded with this letter, and here's the letter. The Attorney General not only took the case, but they're not having the prosecution involved. They checked the section that says without local prosecution. The next thing I want to talk about is the body cam footage before the kids were missing, before Charles Vallow was killed, before any of that. This was during the time where they were having marital issues. I'll put in clips here. I've edited down to the most important parts, and I want to talk through some of the things, particularly Tylee's body language and Tylee's behavior in this video. Sonic boom. The way she's responding, the way she's trying to like silence and control her mother. She's like flinching pretty much anytime her mother talks or starts showing a little bit of her crazy. Anytime you talk body language or, you know, like stuff like that, people say you're reaching. And you know, I had to put on my reaching hat.
Said he stole your phone.
What happened?
Your purse.
Why don't you tell us what happened?
So yesterday, I got in an argument with my husband on the phone, and he was in Texas working, and I found some stuff that he'd been doing, so he was really defensive. And so I took the kids. We spent the night in a hotel because I knew he was coming home. And so this morning when I took my son to school, which he goes.
You've been using Lori's phone to connect with me. He goes, sorry, I've deceived you. I said, oh, okay, yeah, you did. And luckily there were some other people there that were,
So he was changing the locks and probably
the
got the door
locksmiths were
fixed
there.
where he kicked it in so that
The locksmiths were there.
All right there. So Melanie Gibb is talking and explaining what's going on, and then Lori intercedes, cuts her off, and starts to go on her little rant. And immediately when she does that, you see Tylee shift back. It's like she's releasing that anxiety and tension in her body.
So he was changing the locks and probably got the door fixed where he kicked it in so that
The locksmiths were there.
Look, and then she kind of puts her body, these are all signs of somebody who is nervous and trying to hide something.
I told him not to come home and that his stuff would be gone and that his car would be gone and all this thing. So he's a little mad.
Right here, right, when she goes, his stuff would be gone and his car would be gone. Tylee's literally like, Mom, shut the boop up. Please, you look crazy. It's like the way she talked too. It was jarring. The first time I watched this video when she was like, his stuff would be gone. His thing, I was like, whoa. And this is how she's acting in front of the cops. Imagine how she behaves when there's no one around. Yikes.
She's just trying to protect herself. Yeah.
But I just left with the kids because I didn't want them in all the drama.
Yeah.
I didn't want them in all the drama.
Look, I left the kids because I didn't want them in all the drama. I find that very hard to believe. I feel like the kids are witness to a lot of drama. And again, you see Tylee doing that again, the covering, the hiding the information because possibly what her mother said is not true.
I didn't want them in all the drama.
You're not willing to meet with him with a therapist or anything to try to get it back?
I don't want to meet with him because I don't know. He's very sneaky.
So like what he'll do is meet me.
Very sneaky, again, character assassination.
Because he,
What's he texting you?
I have the text. He was basically just texting me.
He's acting like that my son was in danger. I was worried about JJ's safety and things.
I was worried about JJ's safety and things.
Again. Look at Tylee trying to silence her mother again. Tylee's trying to speak to the police. Anytime someone other than Lori is talking to the cops, Lori jumps in and tries to control the narrative.
And texting her like he's gonna.
So he at first texted me, "You doing okay today? Hey girl, are you sick? Please tell your mom. I may not be home for a bit. Love you." Sent me a strange link to a website about our church.
About crazy people.
Yeah. Said this is what's happening, and then he texted me at almost midnight. I'm so sorry, but I have no choice. I'm just sick. Danger. I had no choice. He didn't file a police report or anything as far as we know, so I'm just assuming he was trying to get a response, and then I love you. He was.
Police report about what?
Or I don't know, but he was acting like he did something.
And then those text messages came from, do you have it entered as Mom's phone or?
No, that was from him.
That's before
That was from his
before
phone.
He didn't take the first until 8:30.
This was last
when I was
night.
at school.
so that was from his
Okay.
mom.
And he was sending word for word the same text to my cousin, like
What's his name?
Charles.
He has the same last name as you, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay.
Vallow. Charles Vallow. So my friend told me, my friend that's a police officer, he said, go file a report.
He said, "Go file."
My friend that's a police officer, there it is. Manipulation. She mentions that friend a lot. She's like, oh, my police officer friend, like you're a cop. I know cops. I'm friends with cops. You can trust me. You can believe me.
If you can get the purse back, that'd be lovely, because all my stuff is in there. I'm really mad about my lip gloss.
That to me is such a manipulation. I'm worried about my lip gloss. It seems to me very like, I'm harmless. Look at me. I'm just a little lady. How could you imagine this woman would be capable of this stuff? Like, she's worried about her lip gloss, guys.
You want to try calling or you want me to call?
I don't know, this one's a little confusing for me, honestly.
No problem. I love these calls.
Oh yeah, I would actually love to hear how you did it.
Okay, so this whole call conversation, you can hear Charles laughing as soon as she mentioned, the cops tell him what Lori said. And then he goes on to say, okay, well, I'll give her the purse back, but like he wants to talk about the protection order.
Charles. Hi, this is Officer Edgerton, Gilbert PD. Is this Charles? Hey, Charles. The reason why I'm calling right now is your wife's at the police department. claiming you stole her purse and her cell phone. Okay, you realize they don't belong to you, correct? Okay, and you also texted a friend to meet you at the house last night? Under the guise that you were her? Yeah, we read the report from earlier today regarding you not being able to get into the house and everything, so I do not have the order in front of me, so I cannot do that. It's got to be approved, and I know I cannot keep her, and I can't keep somebody against their will. Thank you. All right, how long? All right, but he says he's coming with the order.
So this should get interesting.
It's gonna get real interesting.
I don't even know. So, all right.
Based off just what your husband said.
Says.
Yeah.
Wow.
So doctors play it safe.
I just think it's funny because he's trying to tell everything.
Just let him
Right.
explain.
So
Third time that Lori is being silenced by Tylee. And every time her voice gets really high pitched and she starts doing that weird laugh and starts talking really, really fast, like almost manic, you see Tylee going like this. So Tylee knows that once Lori starts talking like this and acting like this, it gets crazier and crazier and crazier. And she's trying to prevent that.
Because I'm really the one that did something wrong.
but no, here's the thing is I don't know, and I'm not going to take sides.
Right, no,
but
I
just
don't
talking to you, I mean, I don't see you being a danger to yourself or anybody else. You got your kids to school.
Right.
I don't know.
The part where he's like, you take your kids to school, you seem like a good mother, like, oh man, if they only knew. If they only knew.
If you want a free medical evaluation,
I was
psychological
going to say, I haven't
evaluation,
gotten any sleep in about 3 days. They have good facilities.
they do actually, from what I understand.
And a gym where I could work out.
Yeah,
I'm
so,
kind of happy.
Like I said,
You'll be okay without your mama?
You are going to get a padded room.
She goes, are you going to be okay without your mama? And Tylee's like, you are going to get a padded room. She is crazy. Her own daughter who's missing is telling us she's crazy. It's like she tried to silence her 3 times. And at this point, she's like, you're going to get a padded room. You're acting insane.
Yeah, we're. Let me step out. I'll talk to you. All right. Excuse me for a second.
Yeah.
I will come with you.
10-4. No, you can entertain them.
Okay.
Got any knock-knock jokes?
He dances really nice.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Good, like a little performance.
Here we go.
Show us your
Okay.
equipment. How
She's going to apply to the academy. She's now a high school graduate. Apply to the academy. She's now a high school graduate.
Look at her. Now bringing in the way that Tylee wants to be a cop and she's going to apply. So manipulative.
And I was
That's
going to
great.
do it after he took it, and I realized it was gone when I got back to the car. I was like, he's lurking around here. Like, that's creepy by itself.
Yeah.
That's creepy, but...
Character assassination yet again.
That's really strange. So what kind of questions?
Change the locks on me. I'm on the lease as well. The locks on me. I'm...
Again, this is the 4th time. She goes, shh. Like Tylee's body language, her words, what she's doing is so telling. It is so telling. Like, she knows the way her mother is. And she knows that it doesn't look good in front of the police. And so she's constantly trying to censor her mother.
I assume it would just be because how we were saying you need to be able to, or he needs to be able to get in the house. It should be the same.
Right, so I can kick the door.
There she goes again. There she goes again. Anytime you see people do, it's a very defensive move. And it's like you're hiding something or you want to cover, you want to soothe yourself. It's like self-soothing, defensive, hiding.
And this is just a recent thing? Has he done this before, or like?
This is in like 24 hours. Like, or he's done stuff
Like, has he done this before? Yeah.
But this whole
Not this
situation
extreme,
happened.
No.
but he's been ballistic where we had to leave because he was being awful, and I don't want him to hurt one of the kids or something.
Probably 3 or 4 times that I can remember.
Yeah, 13 years.
Probably 3 or 4 times that I.
All right. So you can see already, Lori's trying to make this seem like he does this more often, and she's worried that he's gonna hit the kids, and he's just like this horrible person. Versus Tylee is telling you the truth. She's saying it all happened within 24 hours, meaning like he's not usually like this. This is weird. And then when Lori says he goes ballistic every now and then, That's when Tylee goes 3 or 4 times in a long period of time. That is not a lot. For you to freak out 3 or 4 times over a period of years is really not that bad. That's what I do during 1 week.
And in the scenario that she...
Do you see that? Tylee's trying to talk. Her mom, rambling Lori, comes in, cuts her off. She claps her hand and turns around and looks at her in frustration like, can I talk? And Lori's like, sorry.
And in the scenario that she... In the scenario that she has to go with like my little brother, would he be like ordered to pick him up from school and take him? Like,
Who
there's no court order, but like I know, yeah.
Are you saying is Charles supposed to pick him up? Or are you saying can you guys pick him up?
Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying.
Like who's gonna pick him up?
Could I pick him up and take him back to like the hotel?
Oh yeah, I don't think that even matters.
Look at Tylee trying to protect JJ. She probably tried to protect him till the very end. That's why they got rid of her first. She went missing before JJ. This is the call with the witness that I was referencing earlier.
Hello, this is Gabe.
Hey Gabe, this is Scott Gallus with the Gilbert Police Department. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
Hey, the reason for my call, I'll just get right to the point. You're listed as a witness on a petition for an involuntary committal of a Lori Vallow.
His wife, she had been getting into some religious things that troubled him. The relationship was a bit odd in the last few months, and it kind of all came to a head when he went out of town. He had me listen to a conversation that he had with her where she was making some strange statements. You know, to be very clear, there was nothing threatening or terroristic of any kind. She didn't threaten to hurt herself or the children or him.
Okay.
She did tell him that she was going to get rid of his stuff, which actually was true. That when he got back, his things were actually gone from the house.
Okay.
When he returned, she had canceled his flights and done some other things to kind of make it really difficult for him to get back.
Yeah.
When he did return, he found that the house was all locked up. No one was home. Gilbert PD helped break in a door so that he could get in the house.
Did you listen to this? Was this like a live phone conversation, or was it a recording, or what did you listen to?
He put me in on a conversation. He just he didn't give me kind of warning on it. He just said, "Hold on a sec." I thought I was listening to a recording at first, and then it dawned on me after a minute or so that this wasn't a recording, that it was actually a live conversation.
And just so I'm clear, she didn't threaten him, the children, or herself in that conversation?
No, everything was subjective. She did use the word destroy. She said, "I will destroy you."
Like it could have been destroy his reputation or something less literal?
His spirit, for all we know, his spirit powers or something. It was just very non-specific.
Okay. When she was speaking, and I know you said it was short, did she seem coherent, or was she... She
seemed coherent, but her statements were strangely irrational. She was accusing him of something, but would not tell him what it was.
Okay.
She seemed to indicate, again, in a somewhat oblique way, that he wasn't who he said he was. The only thing that actually concerned me out of the conversation that I thought was beyond the pale, so to speak, was, he said, "Hey, I just want to see the kids," and she said something to the effect of, "Well, you want the kids, I'll give them to you," which I thought was a bit strange for a mom to say.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is like a super reach, like really big reach. You want the kids, I'll give them to you. And then Charles is dead. How else would he get the kids if he's dead? If they were dead too. I don't know. She's crazy. I don't know. All right, so that's the video. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe.